Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share my May TBR with you. I do have quite a stack here and I'm hoping to actually read more than this, but these are the ones that I kind of have to read versus really are high on my TBR. So it is the end of April, so it's not exactly May yet. So I may actually get to a couple of these before the end of the month. The first being Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. This is our April. We're reading the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins over in my Patreon, and this is the April book. So I'm hoping to finish this in April, but the discussion isn't until May 7th. So if I need to bump it, I can, but I'm thinking about picking this up today. So this will probably be read in April. And then I also have one more Aardvark book club pick that I want to get to. This is a backlist from last year. It's called Love Interest by Claire Gilmore, and I'm just really looking forward to reading this one. I kind of have put this off because I haven't been able to find an audiobook through my library or anything, but it was super funny when I read the first chapter. So I'm really looking forward to these, and hopefully I can finish these two at the end here of April. Moving on to May now, I am going to continue in the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins and pick up Mockingjay. And the discussion for this is at the end of May, so I definitely need to read it in May. I'm also hoping to buddy read Burntown by Jennifer McMahon with Keisha. This was in the horror section, but it also seemed a little bit like of a thriller. It says, on the surface, Ashford, Vermont seems like a quaint New England college town. But to those who live among the shadowy remains of its abandoned mills and factories and beneath its towering steel bridges, it's known as Burntown. Eva Sandusky, who goes by the name Nico on the Streets or Neko on the Street, has been a part of Burntown's underworld for years, ever since the night her father Miles drowned in a flood that left her and her mother Lily homeless. Now on the run from a man called Snake Eyes, Neko must rely on other Burntown outsiders to survive. As the lives of these misfits intersect, and as the killer from the Sandusky family's past draws even closer, a story of edge-of-your-seat suspense begins to unfurl with classic Jennifer McMahon twists and turns. So, looking forward to reading this one. Love the cover. Next up, of course, probably my most anticipated book of the year, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I picked this up when I was in Vegas, of course, and because I wanted the paperback copy and I wanted to pick it up with my besties. And yeah, I'm going to be reading this in May, not only because it's one of my most anticipated, but it is the Night Out Book Club pick for May, which is my Patreon book club. If you join at the $7 tier, you get to join the book club and you get a whole bunch of other perks besides just the book club, but the book club is one of my favorite parts. And yeah, I'm so excited to discuss this at the end of May with my patrons. I'm also going to be co-hosting Sleep When I'm Dead. It's going to be me and Caitlin from Pride and Paperback joining Jessie from Reading with Jess, and we're going to be reading and discussing Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth, the newest release from Hepworth. This one is about foster sisters who really didn't like their foster mother, and then they end up like getting away from her, and then years later there's a body discovered under the house that they were living in, and now it's like, are they suspects, are they witnesses, you know, what ultimately happened in this foster home? And yeah, we're gonna find out. So I'm looking forward to that discussion that is happening on May 20th on Reading with Jess's channel. So I will have that information linked for you down below in the description box. And then I have my in-person book club pick, which is Keeping Lucy by T. Greenwood. This is a historical fiction novel that my friend Lena from Lena's Bookshelf has tried to get me to read for several years now. And it's actually my in-person book club pick because I brought this like as a historical fiction pick. We put them on a wheel and it won, and I'm so happy. So this one is the heartbreaking and uplifting story inspired by true events of how far one mother must go to protect her daughter. And it has Massachusetts 1969, and then we have 2 years later, and I'm really looking forward to it. I trust Lena's historical fiction recommendations. So, and then one of the blurbs on the back says, we'll have readers thinking long after the last page is turned. So I'm looking forward to some emotions with this one as well. I also have 2 more aardvark books that I would like to get to because I don't want them piling up. And then I may even be reading some of my May book of the month or May aardvark picks as well. So I'll add that on. You'll be, if you tune in to my live shows when I go over the picks each month, you kind of get an idea of what I'm going to be adding to my box. So make sure you tune in for those. Or go back and watch them. But yeah, so I have these 2 left over. I cleared out everything else except for this one, which I'm hoping to get to before May. And then Baby X I put on the back burner because the audiobook does not come out until June. So as of right now, this moment, these are like the last 2 that I have. So How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. Frances Adams always said she'd be murdered. She was right. It's 1965 and teenage Frances Adams is at an English country fair with her 2 best friends. But Frances's life takes a hairpin turn when a fortune teller makes a bone-chilling prediction. One day, Frances will be murdered. Frances spends a lifetime trying to solve a crime that hasn't happened yet, compiling dirt on every person who crosses her path in an effort to prevent her own demise. For decades, no one takes Frances seriously, until that is nearly 60 years later when Frances is found murdered. And now we have, it's in the present day, Annie Adams has been summoned to a meeting at the sprawling estate of her wealthy and reclusive great-aunt Frances. But by the time Annie arrives in the quaint English village, Frances is already dead. Annie is determined to catch the killer, but thanks to Frances's lifelong habit of digging up secrets, it seems every endearing and eccentric villager might just have a motive for her murder. So she's trying to catch the killer. Looking forward to this one. I've heard good things, and I have also heard good things about 𝒑𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒔, this horror novel that's probably going to be unlike anything I've ever read. It's like part haunted house, part funny family gathering. This is by Jennifer Thorne. Never read anything by this author before. Anna has only 2 rules for the Pace family destination vacations: tread lightly and survive. It isn't easy when she's the only one in the family who doesn't quite seem to fit in. Her twin brother, Benny, goes with the flow. Her sister, Noelle, is used to everyone, including her blandly docile husband and 2 kids, falling in line. That Anna often ends up in trouble for simply asking a question. The mom seizes every opportunity to question her life choices. The dad's reminding everybody who paid for this vacation, and then he just wants peace and quiet. And it seems like where they're at, this villa, is the perfect place to endure so much family togetherness until things start going off the rails. The strange noises at night, the unsettling warning from local villagers, and the dark, violent past of the villa itself. So yeah, so these are the books that I am hoping to read in May. And like I said, there's probably going to be more books added to this list, but those are the ones that I wanted to talk about today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.